Good morning, y'all. Oh, y'all don't know nothing about that. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Did y'all sleep good? I did. I slept real good. I think I just needed a little Jesus juice, just a little. It's about this much Jesus juice mixed with a bunch of juice and water, but baby. So, I've never made it, and I know y'all I didn't already had it. But baby, I made me some cucumber lemonade before I went to sleep. Listen, and it's even better this morning. It's only been about 8, 10 hours or so. But baby, listen, come on. I didn't know y'all didn't put me on. My daughter tried to get me to drink some one time. I said, I don't want that. Baby, feel hydrated this morning and everything. Nigga didn't wake up with dry mouth or nothing. It was great. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. These glasses, they had it. I'm gonna really have to go and get them buffed out and recoated or whatever. So many scratches. Now I see why people used to be doing all that, taking their glasses off and putting them on. I couldn't understand, but now I do. Do we have this? Okay, we got 100% over there. What we got? Oh, we had 100% right on. So that means I could take this out and put this right here. Good morning, everybody. I got up and did some reading, and I'm gonna get up early with y'all so that way I could take me a nap and then get up and finish all this stuff that I need. Not all, but a good portion of everything I need to do in here. I've been trying to not overdo it. Um, Good morning, everybody. I love y'all a lot. Can y'all hear me? Is it down too low? Is it? Is it? The music is coming back, y'all. I'm happy. Good morning. Oh, okay. Cause the music had left for a minute. Hey, classy lady. The music had left for a minute, honey. It wasn't none. Let me go get. I'm gonna make me some tea. Do I want? I kind of want tea and I kind of want coffee. I don't know. I see now what people used to have tea and coffee. Because you don't be knowing which one you want. And some juice and some coffee. Good morning, everybody. I chose tea. Some mullein and blueberry and honey and a little bit of lemon juice. Okay, I chose the healthier option. Give me a minute. I'm working on it. Okay, so do you guys have this book? If you don't, it's okay. Y'all already know the deal. You can just go back and watch it later. But do you guys have this one? If you do, can you grab it? Because it's where we're going to be at. If you don't, it's okay. It's fine. And this is not to be confused with this one. These are two different books. This is OTP and this is OTP 2.0, just in case. I don't know if you know or not, but Auntie helped us out with that. And then there's book 1, 2, and book 1 and 2 in OT. You see, laugh out loud for a second. I thought my YouTube froze. It did. So, I was looking at some interesting stuff today. And I got a chance to play around in these books. Y'all know I ain't had much time because. So today is a little bit of this room and getting all my survival stuff sealed. That is the goal because I had started a whole bunch of projects before I left, and yeah. Hey, listen, just get one at a time. That's what we do. Get one at a time. You said laugh for a second. I thought I might get to. Oh no, I read that already. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So that's why they recording every single thing that is being said. Um, you said I did what you said last night, and palsy was the reoccurring theme from the man at the well to the two blind men needing healing. Oh, okay. Well, get working. Thank you for working. That's nasty. It needs something else. I think the sugar ain't all the way incorporated in here. I think something's going on because that was water. No, that's still nasty. I have to put some sugar or something in there. Good morning. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all get in here. I did put some honey in it. It ain't sweet enough, so it's about to be some sugar. Sugar. Okay, so look, I had y'all remember um one of our aunties used to send me honey, and one of them crystallized, so I want to cream it. I was supposed to do that before I left, and so I just cut the little milk jug thing that it came open. It came in. I cut it open and just scooped some out, but I didn't want to use that because I needed that honey for my creamed honey. So I'm gonna be doing that today too, creaming it and getting it put up for later because cream honey stay forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So there we go. I'll be doing that as well. Good morning, everybody that I didn't say good morning to. Good morning. You're welcome. You said try agave is good and it don't need much either. I got some. Auntie K made me listen. Auntie K made me some special agave in 22, and I still have a lot of it. I'm there's certain things I'm saving for later, and I think I do got agave, but I'm not really an agave girly as far as my everyday. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like sugar and I like honey. It's okay. I got some. How y'all think I made? Listen, I didn't have my meds when I was in Indiana, baby. I survived on my sugar. That's how I survived. This is the last of it. I still got it. Mm-hmm. And do. I still got my seasoning salt. I still got all of it. You heard me? I know how to use things in moderation. Yeah, no, I don't want that. I'm gonna use sugar. I love you, sister. I'm gonna use sugar or honey, but I didn't put a lot in there. I just put a little bit because I got this lemonade right here with sugar in it. So I was trying to do something different, but we gonna see how that work out. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? I was going to tell y'all something. I don't know. It'll come to me. I got work to do in here though, for sure. That is the next thing. I did spray that window seal too, because I'm sure that's how little buddy or budette got in here, but you can't stay. So, um, trying to wait till about 15 minutes because I know they be playing around, not telling people we own and all of that. So, but you are gonna need that book one, and I think it's interesting. I'm sure we've read it in another version. I feel like we've read it. I'm not gonna say I'm sure. I feel like we read. Good morning. I feel like what we're getting ready to read, we might have read it in the Jubilees or God knows where else. In 4.5 years we didn't read it, but it stood out to me today as something a little different. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And it's a lot of reading, but we're not going to read it all. We're just going to kind of skim around. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's interesting. That makes a lot of sense. It does. Good morning, sister. Cartwheeling in the class. We're going to be in the OTP 2.0. Um, but I believe this story is somewhere else as well. And so I think it's in the Jubilees. I feel like it's in the Jubilees. Part of it is in the Jubilees, part of it is somewhere else. It's okay. But we just gonna play around with the little part that's in here today. So if you don't have your book, it's okay. Um, if you do have it, I'm gonna tell you the pages here in a minute. So let us get to 15. Good afternoon. It's afternoon. Where are you? Where are you at this afternoon? Francis, is that Francisco? Francesco? Where are you in the world? Where is afternoon already? Can you tell us? I think you told us before, but I don't remember. I don't remember. You're gonna need a pen and paper for sure. Um, you're Italian. Okay, pretty cool. You see my braids just popping everywhere. They is. Oh, that's Lynn or something. I don't know what that is. Okay. To those of you. Ooh, I gotta start doing my little hand exercises. I used to be able to snatch these books up. They didn't got a little heavy. If you like, you can get these one or the other, so you can put some little tabs in places. Okay, if you know, you know. You can grab this one if you have it, or this one if you have it. You don't really need both. I don't think. I didn't go through them, but I think it might be fun for you to. Some of y'all might have already did this too, but they be putting stuff in other, like we read one part of it and then we go somewhere else and we get the other part. I think we might have found the other part to some stuff, and I think it might interest y'all a little. It might not. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know who y'all are, so I can't say it will or it won't. Sometimes I don't know y'all, so I'm hoping it does. If you want, you can get pen and paper too. Ooh. I was gonna say something jazzy, but I'm gonna leave it. It's This life is real crazy. Yeah, I've been going back through just looking, and it is real crazy how long we've been around each other. It's a lot. I went back through my journal. Well, not went back. I was journaling this morning and just trying to list some of the key things that have happened in the last, 5 years since I got here. And y'all, my hand was getting tired. I couldn't even remember all of the things, good or bad, and I'm sure if I go and sit down and read all my journals for the last 5 years, I'll get a clearer view of that. But one, this time went so fast. And I'm talking about overall, not just with us here, but if somebody would have told me, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago that I would have experienced this, I don't know that I would have believed them. It did, Queen. We were strangers 4 years ago, and now we be having the attitude that we ain't get on here and have just our normal, even if it's a little 30 minutes, something like. It's wild. Children have graduated, become adults, been born, went to kindergarten. We done seen divorces and marriages, all sorts of things, death and life. I mean, just it's healing, restoration, you name it. It's a lot that went on over here. A lot. And it's pretty cool to experience. We don't always understand which way God is going to take our life and which way He wants us to go. But I think maybe after hearing what we're going to read today, it'll be a little clearer to you about a lot of things. Yeah, I hope so. Baby, this cucumber lemonade. Listen, and as much as I love lemonade, but it got to be the right cucumbers. It's the little baby kind. Maybe I put a little salt on that thing last night and made me some fish and some jalapeno poppers and a hash brown. That sounds so weird, but it was so good when you bite it together. It was amazing. And I made my own tartar sauce. It was fire as well. It was real good. Baby, I had some. Ooh. It was real nice. I had that. Then I was gonna try to wait to eat that mango ice cream. I did not eat it. And then yep, I made this and it worked out. Lit. You said I love a cucumber margarita, spicy, hilarious. So this just lemonade, but that's funny you say that because guess what? I was thinking I wish I would have knew about this when I was with my ex husband because y'all know he used to drink a lot and then he would always crave cucumbers. That's how I would know when he was drinking and he was trying to hide it from me because he would go make me call it a cuke salad. Well, I started researching it and I didn't realize, the properties that cucumbers had when a person is dehydrated and whatever and so forth and so on, and how it's good because the body is dehydrated, so it's calling for that. He thought he just liked them whole time. His body was telling him you're dehydrated. So I wish I would have known about this because I always made lemonade, but I would have had him a special jug of it so that he didn't have to. Because if I could get him to drink this, because I woke up and I didn't drink that much, but normally that wine, even if I only drink this much of it, it's very strong. So the next day I can kind of feel the effects. This right here, I drank a lot of this before I went to sleep, and I did not wake up feeling sluggish. Ain't that crazy? Because y'all know it don't take nothing but this much for me. A couple tablespoons, about 6 tablespoons, not even, and I'll be all the way over to the left. So if you do drink, maybe try making some cucumber lemonade before you go to sleep and have that be the last thing that you drink before you go to bed. Or if you even know somebody that maybe has a problem with and then you realize that they wake up grouchy in the morning, hey pumpkin, maybe try to make this and have them drink it instead of water if they get up in the middle of the night looking for something. I'm just saying, might be a remedy. He said, "Yep, auntie. I try to eat a cucumber a day. They are very beneficial for the body." Right, girl. This about to be my new little deal right here. I promise you. I was like, I'm gonna try to do the cucumbers today. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do, but I've been pacing myself, and that's okay, baby. Them little bitty cucumbers, and it smells so good. I was about to say 8 cucumber plants. You have about you have about 8 cucumber plants going right now. I'll be making cucumber lemonade. Thanks for the idea. Ooh, sister, it's real refreshing, like real refreshing. And then you got to think about it. Okay, so look, I think that if you make that into ice cubes to put it, and I'm sure I've seen this somewhere, but right, because lemon is good for you. It's purifying. The cucumbers is purifying. What if you made this liquid and then made it in the ice cubes to pop into your water when you want a little twang to it, instead of like those little infused water drinks where they put the little liquid in there that got all that chemical mess in it. You know what I'm talking about? You said, I know it smells refreshing and tastes so good. Now I want some. I'm telling you, I use the little baby cucumbers, the ones that you could just eat all the skin and everything on them right away. Them is the ones that I use. But think about that. You said, Auntie, get out of my house. Dang, what I do? You do that already, right? You know how you be wanting some flavored water. You said, and I saw the big silicone square ice cube molds at Walmart. Uh-oh. You said it's on the crack and you already seen them. You said, I see where you're going. I love it. I'll be making some ice cubes. Right. Because, you be wanting flavored water. But that's it. Listen, it give you a little sweetness from the lemonade, right? And then with the cucumbers in it, you throw that in your water, you got a cucumber lemonade. Y'all, my feet is doing like this. And even if you threw the ice cubes through a blender and made like a little slushy or something, baby, I didn't. And if you gonna put your liquor in there, do what you gonna do. I know y'all probably add a little tequila or something to it. I know y'all, but I'm thinking that would be fire. You said and mint. Come on. You said and put some mint in there too, or do a blueberry with the lemons. Look at y'all. Flavored water, but I use lemon and mint and cucumber. Interesting. You said I have all types of ice molds for making gummies, palm trees, hearts, cars, blocks, animals. Maybe the kids would be more intrigued. Yes. And I have about 5 different mint plants going. Baby, I'm about to go crazy. Listen, Queen, that's a nice drink with all of your specialty stuff added into it too. If you think about that for the summertime at the block parties and whatnot, because they gonna stay hydrated. You know how they do like the syrups at the bottom. You know, you know how they make the alcohol gummies. Yep, I'm already on it. I'm gonna put it in my Ninja slushy maker. Okay, okay. See, okay, but think about it. You know how they make the I see something there. I see something there. Have you looked up never mind. I'll text you about that. We ain't gonna say it online. But yeah, I see something. Cause yeah, a real pretty drink that don't have you feeling like crap afterwards. I don't want to put your stuff out there and then somebody grab it. So I'll text you. All right, here we go. I'll put that out there. You can call it whatever you want to. What you done found, huh? Listen, you can call it whatever you want to, but I think it's gonna be. I think I think. All right. So Y'all ready? Now we gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna run to the restroom before I do, cause baby, one thing about that lemonade is gonna have me going. Um, you said, oh, I forgot about the Ninja slushy machine. Oh, it's on now. So do they work? I was just gonna give me a generic one. Do they work? I be seeing the ones on what you call it. Y'all use them a lot. How often do y'all use them? That's why I ain't bought one or nothing, cause I see people have them on the counter, but y'all got little kids too. But you can make it, so you do. He said, girl, they work. And some, I told my husband, we have to start with all the slushy, or we will stop with all the slushies, or we going to get diabetes. Well, think about this, though. Okay, so look, what if you're able to make a date liquid, like a date, because you know, you can make the date sugar, right? And then try to figure out how to make that into like a syrup or like a date syrup. And that might be a little bit healthier. You said you can do alcoholic beverages, regular beverages, frappes, milkshakes, and ice cream. Oh, okay. All right. You know I like ice cream. Okay. All right. I'll be seeing it. I'm going to look on Amazon for a generic one. Who bought a generic one? Because I don't got ninja money, but who bought a generic one? Y'all know me. Did you find the hack? And if you did, how well does the hack work? Tell me. I'm gonna buy one because everybody I see got them. You said, and they were good. You said I use vegan syrup, less sugar. You said, but still sugar and sugar. We having you slushy. Oh, okay, okay. Did anybody? You said right, Auntie. I want one, but I don't want to pay that price. That's what I'm saying. Somebody didn't buy the generic one because you already know they gonna get their money. It's the same machine. Matter of fact, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. You got yours on Marketplace. You said Auto TT. Just left the post office and a package will be there in a few days. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate you. You said I didn't know, but I know people who did, and I still see them on there. Okay. Yeah, because I'm definitely going to get the generic. 100% I'm going to get that. That is really good. I should have just not made this whole thing. I should have made me a jug of it. And I am. They $189. I'm going to try to find me an OEM one and call it a day. They have them on Temu that looks great. I told my husband I might get that one too. Yeah, I'm gonna find it without no name on it. It ain't got to have not a damn name, long as I know it works. I'll be right back. So get your coffee, get your books, get your stuff, cause we getting ready to go on a trip. Hold on, wait a minute. That's not it. Come on. That's y'all getting on the bus. Come on, the doors is open. You said immediately saying singing Little Einstein. That part you said Prime Day is coming up. It might get marked down. Come on. You said I'm gonna get me a Ninja slushy maker. I'm gonna either have to get a job or it's gonna be a push present. That right. right. Because I was about to call somebody and say, wait a minute. A push present is because you're pushing something, right? Did you just give us a girl? We nosy. Everybody called it. Is that what's going on? You didn't got hello. We nosy aunties and cousins. Come on. We called it if you was trying to throw it to us. Oh, you said no, not yet. Uh, but for the slushy machine, I'm willing to do whatever. Hilarious. You said might have to do a little strange things to get this ice cream maker. All right. Listen, you said crazy. I didn't even get that revelation, girl. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you? We a push present. You gotta be, baby. Listen, the way my kids is popping out stuff, baby. I am listening to every cue. Do you hear me? You said I thought she was just meaning pushing the thought until someone bought it for mm no sister. I got all these grandkids. Listen here, honey. They like if the world probably would go on another 10 or 15 years, I might have 25 grandkids, I think. And my kids keep saying no, a girl did. But baby, the way that these kids is come I'm about to have 6 grandkids, y'all. 6, not 2, not 4, 6. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like it's gonna be 6 people calling me grandma. Do you realize that is 6 bloodlines? 6. My bloodline turned into 4, and those 4 so far have turned into 6 generations of people. Like what? You said I already doubled that. Listen, +1. But listen, I just when I met y'all, I barely had one. He was only 2, 3 months old when I met y'all. Now he about to be 5. You said I was telling hubby that the other day, like, Circle had one grandchild when we first started and now it's 6. He was like, dang, right. So just imagine Adam and Eve having 63 children, 30 sets of married, we'll say, or 20. Do y'all realize how many grandkids they was having every year? They could have at least 30 grandchildren every year. More if it was twins. Superfetation. They could have been having 60 grandkids a year if it was superfetation. Everything was new and very fertile at that time. My body just broke down thinking about having 6 kids, girl. Think about that. What if the reason that they don't list a lot of the women in the beginning of the Bible is because they were all twins? How could they keep up with the names? Right. If each one of their sets of kids had 2 kids a year or every other year, even with them each set only having one in 7 years, baby, think about it. Good morning. I could only imagine this spend a night at my house, baby. Listen, you said my mama pushed out 7. The last 6 she had them 2 years apart. Oh Lord Jesus. Oh, yeah. If I'd have had my two star, y'all, I probably have about 10 or 15 kids for real. Cause uh, on both of my sides, I got plenty of cousins that got way more than 10. And I got uncles that got way more than 10 too. Listen, oh, Jesus. My family is growing. I'm grateful for it. I'm just saying it happened very quickly. I can't even keep up with my four kids' names. The kids be Enoch, Enoch be the kids. I'm trying to tell you, you said a name is a name. Here and here, everybody, just answer that part. You said go on and get them out the way, like my granny used to say. That listen, I can't even imagine the begat list for Adam and Eve. That part you said my mother is 12 of 13. Yep, she only had me, and I gave her three granddaughters. This you said I would have six, but I had two. It's all right. It's all right, Rika. Things happen. Fertile myrtles. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. You said me too. I know I would have. You said, and my twins are 3 years apart. Your twins came back to that. So you like my grandma. All my grandma that passed a couple years ago, baby, all her babies was multiples. Jesus. You said I'm the seventh of 13 kids by your dad? You said yes. Me and my siblings are stair steppers. My brothers are same age for like a month. Oh yeah, like, y'all like us then. That's me and my brother right under me. He just turned 45. 45. We was 45 from February to my birthday in March, and then I turned 46. Wow. So y'all, yeah, that's crazy, Queen. I did not know you had that many brothers and sisters. That's why you be fighting with me. You are pro with this already. You said me too. I have four stair steps, and I probably would have had more if I kept going. I heard, yeah, yeah. You said yes. My mother had 11 kids, and some of us are not too far apart. Listen, if I told you my brothers used to torture me growing up. That's why you be messing with me. I'm supposed to have five, but I have three at 26. So yes, I'm done. Right. Yeah, I would have had five. I would have had five. I would have had five. I would have had more, but for sure, I know I would have had five. Yes, yep. I enjoy you being my target. I know. You said I was fertile murder for sure. I had seven, lost three, one infant, and two grown adults with children. Wow. I can. I can. Yeah. That's crazy, y'all. I'm so happy my tools aside. And then you said me and my sister are 11 months apart. Yeah, that's how me and my little brother is. You said I would have had a team too, but I have two boys. Listen, God knows. You said if my tubes wasn't tied, every time my husband blinked, I would have been pregnant. This girl, this, this, and that's why I this that. The nigga even turned his eye to me sideways. What is this? Don't look at me. My uncle said, nigga, every time a nigga look at you, you pregnant, ain't? Leave me alone. I'm about to go. This why I don't come over here. This why I don't be bothered with y'all. Mm-mm. I tell you, y'all be all in my business. Here we go. y'all. Sorry about that. Let's get this going, shall we? Seeing as how y'all all in my business. Okay. Can't even get into a good class without y'all going on down into my stuff. Lord, y'all niece is FaceTiming me. Hold on. And I just thought about her too. Did my phone just ring? Goodness, I literally just thought about this little girl. Here go the lineage calling. Hold on, y'all. The very kid that I just had a thought about, I walk in here and she's calling my phone. This thing be weird sometimes. That's crazy, right? Okay, here we go. Uh oh. This where we at, Orbeline. I haven't told y'all where we reading it yet. Because y'all are sneaky, sneaky foxes. Okay. So, who's read The Cave of Treasures? In our OTP? The other one. Excuse me. Or online, wherever you read it. Who's read The Cave of Treasures? Book one. I just showed it. We in book one. You have. Okay. Everybody should have raised their hand if you was here in the beginning because we read a lot of it. That's what Adam and Eve is called on sacred text. It's called The Cave of Treasures. There's another book, but it's also called The Cave of Treasures. Okay. Oh, I just wanted to see because this book is called The Cave of Treasures too, and it's on page. We're gonna be on page. Well, we're gonna be all over the place, but we're gonna start on page 559. I can see the book better when I don't got my glasses on. I can read y'all stuff better when I do have my glasses on. That's why I'm always taking them on and off. Okay. Um. So that's what we're doing. We on page 559 in the OTP 2.0 book one. So let me ask you a question. How does it feel from going from our original OTP to all of these lost books? How does that feel? Starting out and maybe even being overwhelmed with the OTP because it was so much information in there. And now you're not just in one book, you might be in 10 doing your research and online. How's that feel? You said like a whole another treasure hunt. Come on. Like we on another treasure hunt. Come on. You said in my mind I thought about how he said he had mysteries and I felt like we had found them. Yes. Informative and eye opening. Interesting. Okay. Did you ever think that you would enjoy the word this much? or that it would be so life changing, enlightening. It feels good. I be on a quest every single day. It don't matter what you read. He got a rabbit hole for you. Yeah, it make your toes wiggle a little bit or a lot. You said my whole library going down a rabbit hole. I love it. Come on. Okay, so I'm starting down here. You said no. You said, but I have realized that I have a new thirst for His Word, and even reading the regular Bible, I see new things every time, every single time. You be like, has this all? My son just did it the other day. He said, "Mom, it's crazy how you'll start reading and you know you done read this before, and you see something you." I said, because he didn't reveal it to us yet. If it, you said it feels privileged, like God has shared something special with me. That part, it do. That's why when people be like, "You always reading them books and you always talking to me. Why don't you read them?" No, I don't need to read them. Well, quit talking to me about me reading them then, because I can't even talk to you about what's in them because you won't hear it. So I don't want to keep explaining why I read them when you really don't want to know. You just want to have something to talk about. You say yes, just life changing for me. You say getting answers that you never got. That part in the pews, everything changed mysteriously. Amazing. Come on, come on. I'm not about to keep discussing. That's a waste of my time. I'd rather talk with people that want to know. You said I'm so glad my tubes are tied. Oh, you said I would have had 23 kids or more. Hallelujah. Anyhow. All right. I don't want no parts of that. Okay. So we're down here at the bottom now. This is after the flood. Okay. What we're going to read. Are you ready? Mind blowing. All the information that's been right in front of our faces. Yeah. Y'all ready? Here we go. In the days of Terah, in his 90th year, sorcery appeared in the land of Ur. Interesting. Who remembers where we did some of our first information digs in Jasher? Who remembers reading about Terah in Jasher? Class must be good because they kicked me out just now and they're not letting me comment. No way. Oh, we own it. Abraham, father of, yeah. Okay. Y'all remember? And we found out that Nimrod was around at these times and all of these different people was alive. And wait a minute, because we read about them way back here. How is they all the way up here? How did they make it from here to here? And all of, remember? Remember all of this? Okay. So look at this. It says, in the days of Terah, in his 90th year, sorcery appeared in the land of Ur, in the city which Haran, son of Eber, had built. There was in it a man, listen, y'all, who was very rich and had died at the time. His son made himself an image of gold and put it upon his grave. The statues that's in the cemetery should not be there. Did you hear what I said? It is still an idol because people go there and they talk to the dead, and there is a graven image that they are on their feet 9 times out of 10 talking to, crying, praying, bringing gifts, flowers, such and such and such and such, and so on. Auntie, do you mind lowering the camera? I can't see your whole face. Yes. Is that better? Huh? You said, you said it's kicking people off. I just got kicked off and I keep trying to get back on. Over here? Show is I never looked at it like over here. They kicking people off? No, no, no. My biological mother spent 5K to put a statue up for my grandmother. This is what I'm talking about. I'm saying a statue, y'all. There was grave markers. Okay? I understand grave markers. I'm saying the statues that you see, the statues, the carved image of the person. Think about that. A stone image of a person. Okay, look. Where they used to have these statues at in the communities where they sacrificed people, what would be underneath the altar? Anybody know? Not all of them, but a lot of them. Even in the Vatican, this is a thing. And it's statues all up and through the graveyard. You said Anna has her picture on it. They got you said they go there to sit and talk to her. The body, but what does the body turn into? Graves, bones. You said like the towers, it's a graven image. A lot of the towers on there is obelisk. Like the ones in Egypt, they used to light up when the electricity would hit it, and they would Puerto Rico, and they would light up, and all of the carvings in those uh columns. Those are not just those columns used to light up for real, for real. The metal, I mean not the metal, the stone that they're made out of conducts energy. They don't tell us that. They make us just look at it. But those were like solar power plants. Oh yes, another reason I don't go visit them places. Okay, so look, let's keep going here. It says his son made himself an image of gold. Who do we know that just did that? Like some plaques, like a tribute to them, right? Who do we know that just did that recently? Right, 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 right. Is his father still living? Was he a rich man when he died? Interesting. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's keep going. His son made himself an image of gold and put it upon his grave, and made a servant stay there in order to guard it. Then Satan went and dwelt within this image. Where else have we heard of that? And it's more than one place. But where can you remember us as a class studying about Satan dwelling in a statue? You remember the book? One of them. It's plenty. But what books do you remember where we saw this? Anybody? It's one in particular. Pop quiz. Yes, Revelations. Job? The whole reason he got attacked? Seriously? I started this class and I said sometimes I don't know these people. I might have had a premonition or something that I don't know these people. Ugh. Ugh. It was a statue talking to Nicodemus too. Okay, I'll take it. So Nicodemus, uh, Job. Okay. But Job, think about it. The man that everybody be wanting his blessings, he had to deal with talking statues and stuff. Remember, Lucifer kept getting in the statue and tricking everybody. And we talked about all of the talking statues we see right now. Because what is a robot? What is our kids' talking toys? This a little Furby or a cat? It's a talking statue. Because most times it can't move until you move it, or there has to be mechanics. An image of something made by hand that talks and walks. Isn't that interesting? That is programmed to do specific things. Come on. Like demons. Okay. And Satan spoke with the boy in the likeness of his father. Wait a minute, but let's go back. So a rich man died. His son made a gold statue and put it on top of his grave. Then Satan went and dwelt within the image, and Satan spoke with the boy in the likeness of his father. So he used the father's voice. You think he was talking to one of his demon brothers that had been with the boy his whole life. So the demon that had been followed was there. So he already knew what to say, a familiar spirit. Oh, and then thieves came and took everything the young man had collected. Hmm. So that he went out to his father's grave weeping. Satan spoke with him and told him, "Do not cry in front of me, but go, bring your little son and sacrifice him for me." What color are the awards that the people that are our elite get? And tell me what it looked like. Gold. Do they look like people? Golden Globes, the one with the wings, the Emmys. Just go look at awards, uh, their little figurine things, please, real quick. Can you? The Oscars. Okay, good job. So we're in agreement. A gold statue. You go to Lucifer. You say, "I'm poor. I don't got nothing," and he say, "Don't cry. Give me your child," and kill them or do something horrible to them, and then we can talk about it. Have we seen this before? See, we be thinking we don't know why they do certain stuff, and it's a whole story about why they do and where it started. We know, and they show us who they worship in all of the everything that they do. Is it amazing that after the flood, this is when it started in the days of terror? We know when it started in the Old Testament in the days of Jared, but in the New Testament in the days of terror. Interesting. You said shape shifting and worshiping golden images started at the beginning. It did, but we after the flood, Auntie. We after the flood. We talked about it. Yes, it happened prior to, but we after the flood now. Because remember, the world was started over. So then there had to be a different date for everything. Because even though it had already happened, everything from that world was wiped away and God made it new. But the same sin showed up again. When did it start? Okay. So look. It says, "Don't cry in front of me," Satan said, "but go, bring your little son and sacrifice him for me. Then everything which has been lost will immediately be returned to you." At once, he did as Satan told him. Now, who do you think told the thieves to come in and steal his stuff? Satan. Then you go into the image of the boy daddy and say everything will be restored to you if you give me your boy. Interesting. Hello. At once he did as Satan had told him, sacrificed his son, and bathed in his blood. Which one of y'all favorite stars then had a blood facial or a baby private part facial that y'all know of? Tim, if you know. Sandra Bullock, all of them dang near. Oprah, whole bunch of them. Isn't that interesting? The richest people in the world, because even plasma is a part of the blood, is it not? So plasma facials is a what facial? Tell me. Tell me again. She also possessed the lock of Marilyn Monroe, and she said she would worship it every day. It's a blood facial. So they're being bathed in blood in our face. Is this why God said that the earth is about to be bathed in blood? And every time on a scary movie, even in Blade, they was bathing in blood, and they looked very young, and they were the elite, and only certain people could get into the parties. If you watched the Salem witches, the one witch that came over from England, she used to have a home girl hanging over her. She would get a different new young lady and keep her in bondage, hit her in her neck, and turn that person's blood on and off like a faucet, and she bathed in it. That's how she stayed young. They sacrificed to you. How many ghost pregnancies have stars had? And we know for a fact they had a baby. We saw their body change, and then it was just never no kid. He said, I just watched a vampire show, and the wife had to bathe in blood to stay alive. Come on. And I didn't even know, sister. But here we are. Y'all think that's crazy? You said just like blood is the way for atonement of sin, Satan stay copying the Most High. This part. You cannot, the movie Carrie, you cannot get into, because think about this. Even if you don't take the I'm going to unalive one of my family members route, you realize that when you are penetrated rectally, that there are blood vessels and veins and stuff that are strained and burst because of the way that the body was made for that. It was made for extraction, right? Excrement. So those blood vessels and stuff contract and do what they need to do for the exit. It's a reason that the same technique that slave owners use, the music industry owns, they do right now. Did you know? Y'all ready to go down a rabbit hole, a real one? Do y'all want to go or y'all don't know? Okay, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to go, you're going to have to leave. Tell me roughly how many veins and arteries and capillaries or what are in your rectum, please. nerve endings, all of that. What's going on in your backside? And then tell me exactly what organs those blood vessels and stuff are connected to. What other organs in your body? You said, let's go. Uh-oh. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Here we go. Crazy, right? Y'all remember on Evil what they was putting in that man and what she wanted so she could stay young? The grandma? What she wanted 6 or 7 jars of? Remember? It's the liquid part of the blood. The sauce, the secret sauce. The gold juice, as old girl that they canceled that played in Hustle and Flow said. She told us, and then they got rid of her. Remember? They didn't get rid of her, but you ain't heard nothing else about her. After she talked about she wasn't gonna take the gold juice, you said there is no exact single count for the number of nerves in the rectum. Instead, of individual nerves, the rectum is governed by a complex. Is that pudendal? Is that right? Pudendal, nerve, and inferior hypogastric plexus nerve. A whole bunch of words that I don't know nothing about. The rectum is primarily supplied by 5 main arteries. Interesting. It says the anus is packed with nerve endings. They say they don't know the number. You know who do? Your dad. Your rectum is connected to 5 main arteries. What do arteries do? 5 is grace, which is real wild. But let's go. The microscopic sensory, sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve endings, you said, are connected to the spinal cord. Interesting. I didn't know it either. What do arteries do? They transport blood. Arteries transport blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. 5 is grace. Blood goes in a circle in our body, roughly. So, what happens if the blood in your rectum gets infected? Because there's mucus in your rectum that and bacteria that kill certain things so it can't see through your rectal walls and start to pour waste back into your body, right? Or am I wrong? Medical folks, where we at? Just like we used to see the pipe commercials, it contaminates the rest of the blood. Okay. And they would pour that stuff down and drain and they show the little face and it's all these little pieces that's eating all the stuff that's been in there. It can cause sepsis. Interesting. Your mind and your body will be sick. Do you think that that is a coincidence, that that is what Lucifer always wants to do to people in order for them to get fame and fortune? Because if you go in the rectal area, you gonna see some blood. Yes or no? You said the rectum is the final section of the large intestine and is deeply connected to its surrounding organs like the bladder, the prostate, or the vagina. Through specialized pelvic, is it fascia or fascia and ligamentous? Oh, tissue, huh? You said it's primarily supplied with oxygenated blood by three main arterial branches that form a rich connecting network. Girl, what is that? Anastomosis? Anastomosis? Listen, with rectal walls. Interesting. So a whole bunch of long words. Thank you. And right. So do you think then when Lucifer has people in the industry or demons to sodomize folks? Hubby and I just had this discussion the other day about Satan being a man and a woman. Satan being a man and a woman. You said doing the rectum. Listen. Okay. Can we talk about it and then we're gonna go somewhere else? I'm about to show you something. This is all in where we about to go today. You just don't let me get no classes out without telling them. Here we go. Okay. They're talking about that women are pegging men, right? This is the thing. If Satan's job is to mix up the natural order, how do you think God that made the man's genitalia feels when he sees a woman with male genitalia on him, her? How do you think he feels about that? He specifically crafted men genitalia to be in a specific place in certain things. You can tell by the way the vagina is made. There's a shaft, and then it opens up at the end, right? If you go down the tunnel, when you get to the end of the tunnel, it goes like this, right? Can you tell me what the man's genitalia does? It's a shaft, and then at the end it opens up like a stopper. Because certain things enlarge right before the release, like a stopper. No, like a cap on your sink, so that whatever is sewed into this wound can't get out just right now. You said, isn't that why they say what they say about QOH? You said he can't control his bowels. Oh yeah, can't. What? I'm just saying. Am I? I'm not trying to be vulgar, y'all. This is like I'm showing. We about to go somewhere with this. Okay. I know y'all like, where's she going? We going somewhere. Okay. Blood has to be shed in order for Lucifer to give you what you want. Why he didn't ask for the man daughter? Not that he don't, but right. Why did he ask for the son? He said, I already know we going somewhere. Okay. Why did he ask for the son? There you go. To ruin his legacy. To ruin his leg. You said because the men and boys are supposed to crush the head of the serpent. Come on. Trying to replicate the Son of God's sacrifice. Look, we talked about this to stop the lineage. If he never want a woman, no children gonna be born. Do y'all think they just sacrificed him? As vile as Lucifer is, y'all think that they just killed him? That's what y'all think? Every statue that you see of the Baphomet, there's kids at his feet. Here we go. Mm-mm-mm. Immediately, Satan came out from the image and entered into the young man. I'm going to read this again now. Listen to this. There was in it a man who was very rich and had died at the time. His son made himself an image of gold and put it upon his grave and made a servant stay there in order to guard it. Then Satan went and dwelt within this image, and Satan spoke with the boy in the likeness of his father. Then thieves came and took everything the young man had collected, so that when he went out to his father's grave weeping, Satan spoke with him and told him, do not cry in front of me, but go and bring your little son and sacrifice him for me. Then everything which has been lost will immediately be returned to you. Isn't that happen? Isn't that what happened when Jesus died? The connection that we had with God when Adam sinned, it was severed. Blood had to be spilled. Jesus is specifically. And then as soon as it was, the Holy Ghost went out into the world and could now uh, uh, inhabit people. Excuse me. Could live on the inside. The Holy Ghost wasn't living on the inside of everybody prior to that. So when Lucifer got into this avatar, now, who was speaking out of Jesus? God. So, in every single thing that Lucifer has done, it is to make himself appear. It's nothing that he does that's original. Blood had to be shed, then the spirit can get in you. You had to give up what meant most to you. Then he tells you to bathe in the blood. Like how it says, the blood of the Lamb is going to clean us and wash us, wash all our sins away. And then we're going to be given a new kingdom and new clothes and all of the secrets of heaven. Ain't that what it tells us? And I'm paraphrasing, but ain't that what it is? No? Or am I tripping? Jesus said, I stand at the door and knock and wait for you to open the door to the inside of you, right? He want to be in your most intimate parts. That's what he says, right? Is SA waiting for someone to when you invite you into an intimate space? Most of the people that have been in the elite circles come out later and say, I was SA'd. Exactly, Sarah. You said we were bought for a price. Jesus paid for our freedom, but those who want heaven on earth paid to be put back in bondage. This part, Nisi Poo. How you feeling? So as soon as the blood was shed from this little boy, the son, Lucifer was then able to inhabit the son of the rich man that died. So the father, grandpa is dead, father is alive. Lucifer tells him, unalive your son. So then his part of his lineage is gone. Okay. And he didn't say man, he said boy, bring your boy. Right? So we don't even know if this person even had a chance to have children. Okay. And then he possessed him. Huh? You said they want the blood to be forever young, but they don't understand that you got to come to the blood of the lamb to live. You right, to be forever young. That part. Are y'all seeing this? How often do we see the famous folks get the riches and all of that, and then they start to look possessed? They start to do things that a possessed person would do. It would make sense that he was a prepubescent boy to endure no lineage would come out. Hmm. Because Satan's ultimate job is to make sure no more humans are born. We talk about this. You said Jay-Z's song is Forever Young. Interesting. Okay, look. Immediately Satan came out from that image and entered into the young man and taught him magic, incantations, divination, the Chaldean arts, fortune telling, augury, and omens. Behold, from then on, humankind began to sacrifice their children to the demons and to worship idols. For the devils entered into them and dwelt within all images. What is AI? I gotta run to the bathroom, y'all, and I am gonna make me some coffee because this tea ain't getting it. What is AI? We see AI images all day. Artificial intelligence. Lucifer being in that man's body was artificial intelligence. Now, how often have we seen young people or people in general lose their life because there is some image on their phone talking to them, telling them to either unalive their families or themselves? This thing don't have a body. Artificial intelligence, so we won't believe what we're seeing. Hello. Lucifer inhabiting the boy's statue and talking through the statue, is that not AI? It's an inanimate object that shouldn't be able to have a conversation with you, telling you where to go and what to do. Turn left, turn right. Tis. Slender Man. Come on. How are kids learning everything now? It's not from books. We're literally learning through magic. Technology is magic, magic is technology. We are literally learning from magic. How do we find out what's going on overseas when we don't live there? Magic. Because technically, we should be asking God to tell us what's going on in Africa. I'm going to go make me some coffee and run to the restroom. We should not be asking Siri what the weather is going to be like and which way to go. A global positioning system. Wait a minute. Y'all, we talking to statues too and getting information from them. Spirits, because the spirits have spoke through. We done looked up the names of everything. Then y'all, come on. And he said at the end time that his people would be consorting with demons for knowledge. No, they are tricky. You said deep, yep. I've been singing the sky and it's triangular, red and white. Watch your sky tonight and see if you can see it. You said Satan just opened up the floodgates with AI and caused many to fall into the trap. You said, including the church. They even preach using tablets and not the Bible anymore, including me, because I'm always Syrian something. Uh oh. You said, yep, technology became the middleman to our dad. Yep. Ain't this crazy? You said, dag nabbit, so we need to start meeting up for class now because this technology is really becoming our addiction and the source, and it should not be. It's addictive, checking time, weather, apps, etc. Is this not crazy how he been playing in our face? He started AI with talking objects. Y'all remember when Jesus was going into Egypt and there was the two statues out there and they started crying his name? Like when we was young and we used to walk in the place and the animatronics to start talking to us as soon as we got in, like Chuck E. Cheese. Hi, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm such and such, or whatever Pizza Planet type place you went to. They had a motion censored animatronic thing there that used to scare the hell out of the kids. When you go to Disney, there are people in costumes. You don't know who's in there. You said my auntie called the Bible a sword when a pastor come in to preach from it. Listen. So the same thing that we just read about has been put in front of our face, and it's always bigger than you. It's never your same. Five Nights at Freddy. Come on, it's never your same size. Conveniently deceiving and hooking us. Okay. So is AI new? And then they turned around and made a city about AI. Go look up. We did already, but go look up some of the things that were happening in AI in the Bible. What were their practices? What did they do? We did it before, but let's do it again real quick, please. What they was doing over there? I said you said I never trusted statues at Chuck E. Cheese either. Mm-mm. Good morning, sister. Yeah. What y'all think? He said, I remember watching National Lampoon's Vacation, the theme park said, Welcome to Wally World in the 80s. Uh oh. Hey, what are some of the things that were going on in AI, y'all, in the Bible? And we read about this. We already did. But y'all looking? What were some of their practices? Who were their gods? What did the people do there? You said the principal god was El, but the jurisdiction over rainfall and fertility was delegated to Baal or Hadad. Oh, so they worship Baal. Interesting. Can Other important deities included Raseth, Lord of the Plague, and the Netherworld, Kothar, the divine. Remember that name, Kothar, the divine craftsman, Asherah, consort of El, and Astarte, goddess of fertility. Mm. So the giants' children. You said it looks like the praise of Apollo and his sister Diana. Interesting. Again, the fallen angels' children. Huh? What is Baal worship attached to? Because the people in Hollywood worship Baal. And what is it attached to? The people in Washington worship Baal. You said AI, Hebrew is Hai or Hai. The room went, no. So every time we say AI, we saying the ruin? So artificial which is true because we talked about this. More revelation. Remember we talked about the angels giving Adam and Eve, I mean the children, the women, the secrets of heaven. It was the ruin of the earth. That's what I just had everybody go read last night. Chapter 10 of Enoch 1. You said, and now that I thought about it, looking in Mexico, the ruins do look like somewhere to practice magic. And every time we say Lord, we are saying Baal. Baal means Lord in Hebrew. I have heard that. Right. You said makes sense, perfect sense. It will definitely be ruined to a lot. It's going to be ruined to the world because it's getting rid of the water. This earth can't survive without water. And God says that the water is going to go away, it's going to be burned up. Well, if the AI centers are making the water toxic and God starts sending down stuff from heaven, it's easily going to set on fire and go back to looking like it did when the dinosaurs was around here. Tar pits. Vikings do you all these books got runes in them. And they're all magical letters, runes. We didn't look at a lot of them. Technology ruined the first world, and it's getting ready to ruin the second. Taking all the natural resources and giving us artificial ones. That's exactly what happened when the giants came on the earth. Everything that the angels taught them to extract from the rocks is what we use in technology today. And they told us that, oh, these were just stone figures whole time. Every single carving on every single castle and everything that we see is either a magical covering or It's just like computer code, just an advanced form of it. That's why in the movies they always show us that a lightning will strike and then the building lights up. Isn't that what happens when we flick a switch right now? And there's all those little pieces and wires that if you take the walls out of your house, it looks just like a circuit board. Is this not the one? No. Oh, it is. The only reason this light coming on is because that same electricity is running through me. So, in other words, we are calling out a demon's name. My God, Father, forgive me. Listen, well, we know it's the demon of AI because we looked it up in the spirit book. The prophet Isaiah mentions a rebuild of AI in Israel 1028, and it's now called AI. You, AI means hour or eye. Didn't Elon Musk name his son that? Something similar? Ain't his son's name AI? And Elon is the one building all the data centers. And y'all already seen what's on the inside of the Facebook dude jacket. And he run Meta, and it was another place named Meta too, and a demon named Meta, if I'm not mistaken. X AI. I don't even know how to say that. Son born 2020. Originally XAIA 12. That's his 12th kid's name. Interesting. It's funny that he used that 12X. It's interesting because there was 12 in the divine family, and a new name came after the 12, or before Jacob's 12 sons. Nvidia is paying people 1,000 a month to have their AI server outside their home. What? Okay, interesting. Mm, mm. Here we go. And y'all wonder why they be trying to cut our classes off. Let's go. Ooh. It says, in the 100th year of Nahor, when God saw that mankind was sacrificing their children to the demons and worshiped idols. Isn't that what happens when people take their kids to Hollywood? Yes. God opened the storehouses, their children, of storms, excuse me, so that great winds went forth upon the earth, the whole earth, destroyed images and temples of demons, drove away the idols' images in packs, and made great mounds around them, which are there to the present day. Y'all remember seeing all the statues that they've been unearthing, like Easter Island and the one in Egypt that was bigger than the obelisk and it was under the ground? The mounds, aka ruins. They're finding whole mountains, and then when they go, they find out it was a temple under there. It is not a mountain. In Asia and everywhere. Africa, even up in the cold places. Things that they thought was a whole mountain when they dig through the snow, it was a temple in there. And they say, oh, during the this time. So they've been there since right after the flood. A lot of them. And they try to tell us they only a couple thousand years old. Whole time they was here right after the flood. Hello. And technically, by definition of a mountain, what they are finding are not large enough to be called mountains, but they are large enough to be called mounds. Come on. Like Cahokia. Uh-huh. Let's keep going. Look here. Interesting. It says the windstorm had been called deluge of wind by the scholars. Now there are people who chatter and say that these mounds are from the time of the deluge, but in truth, those who are saying this err. Before the deluge, there were no idols upon the earth, and the deluge did not take place because of the idols, but because of the fornication of Cain's daughters. Nor were there people upon no, okay, so this might not be right. We just gonna let them go. It said were there on people on earth at that time. I don't know about that. You said whether it was waste and desolate, and our fathers were sent to it like in to exile because they were not worthy to remain neighbors of paradise. From the ark they were cast upon the mountains of Cardu or Kadu, and I'm sorry, and from there they spread over the whole earth. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. It was people dead. Got it. Those mounds are there because of the idols, and all the idols from that time are hidden with them. Likewise, those devils which are said to have been within them are in those mounds, and there is not a single mound in which there are not devils. I hadn't read this part because I skipped over it to go to the next, but we learned it together. Did y'all hear that? Sarah. You know that make me think about the new daughter, the other daughter, and every other freaking movie we have found where the kids be playing on the mound. They get tripped. They get listen. All of the places where the mounds are, and think about it. They had us playing. How many kids have got hurt sledding down a hill or something? You said there are mounds all over the world. Exactly. But they showed us in that movie with Steven, whatever that white man name is. I can't. The one that played in what's the name with Whitney Houston. Remember, his daughter kept going into the mound. They had moved to like West Virginia or something like that, and them demons things was coming out of there, and they mate with the women so often and eat them and whatever else. Lord Jesus, excuse me, Kevin Costner, that's his name. The new daughter. It's some other ones. What other movies where they was dragging people into holes in the ground or whatever else it is, and people was hearing noises and seeing beings come out. And a lot of these mounds be in the woods where people always say that they seen something. Drag me to hell. Yep. Y'all. Okay. Mm. Yeah, we gonna get to this. We gonna come back to that. Can y'all go to page 563 for me real quick? The Descent is another one. Yep. You said movie called The Watchers. The Hills Have Eyes. Except the Hills Have Eyes. Come on. Can y'all go to page 563 for me real quick? I ain't gonna keep y'all all day today. Plus, I want to make me some bacon and an egg again. I don't know why. That's I'm on that kick. I dang want to make me a bacon and egg and sausage sandwich, and I probably am. I'm probably gonna do both. I'm gonna have a little thin piece of sausage, and then cheese, and then my fried egg, and then sausage on the other side. Yep, that sounds good. On that sourdough bread, that's what I'm doing. All right. I'm sorry. That's what I'm gonna eat. I am. That's exactly what I'm gonna eat today. I'm gonna eat that. He said I just got done cooking, eating bacon and eggs, and I think I got some grits. I had some grits when I went home. I don't like making them though because I don't end up eating them all most times. But I'm gonna start making little polenta cakes with them. That's what I'm gonna do. It's the same. A polenta cake and a grit cake is the same thing. It's all hominy or cord or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Have y'all seen the little polenta cakes they make? And then like they be putting like shrimp and grits on top of them and all of that. You can season them. Yeah. You sound like my mom, girl. I'm for real. You said I come in and you talking about my breakfast. I use cinnamon raisin bread, nephew. I bet it was good too. Oh, I love cinnamon raisin bread with the right amount of crisp on the edges and some butter. Listen, I'm making pork chops, cabbage, rice, and cornbread for supper. Oh yeah, that sounds real good. Strawberry cake and sweet potato pies. Yep, send me a plate. You sound like my mama. Grits sounds so good, baby. Yes. Oh Jesus. I might just make me some grits and make the bacon and eggs and then put it on top of there. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, come on, cause I'm about to go and then you said, y'all, please stop. Sorry. Okay, come on. Here we go. I'm hungry. Here we go. All right. So we're over here. I'm about to get some cinnamon raisin bread right now. Listen. Oh, goodness, baby. Ooh, it's making my mouth water. Moving on. Come on. We got to go. We got to go. We got places we go. It's a whole bunch we got to get to. So I'm up here where it says from Abraham to Isaac. It says, in the 100th year of Abraham, there was a king in the east whose name was Cumros. He built Samosata or Samasata upon the name of his son Samsatu, Claudia upon the name of his daughter Kalad, and Pyron upon the name of his son Peron. In Ruth's 50th year, Nimrod went up and built Nisibis, I think it is, Nisibis, I believe that's it, Edessa and Haran. Haranit, the wife of Sin, priest of the mountain, keep that in mind, surrounded it with ramparts. Then the Haranians made an image of her and worshipped it. Baaltin was given to Tammuz because Baal Shaman loved her. Tammuz flew, and she kindled a fire in order to burn Haran. When Sarah, listen to this, I need y'all to hear this right here. When Sarah, Abraham's wife, had died, Abraham took Keturah. We know that the daughter of Bacter, king of the desert. By her were born Zimran, Yokshan, Medin, Median, Ishbak, and Shua, and from them the Arabs are descended. When Isaac was 40 years old and Eleazar came down to Abraham's family and brought Rebekah to the east, Isaac married her. After Abraham had died, Isaac buried him next to Sarah. When Isaac was 60 years old, Rebekah conceived Esau and Jacob. When she was afflicted, she went to Melchizedek. He prayed over her and told her, two nations are within your belly, and two peoples being separated in it. That is, and will come forth from your womb. Nation will vanquish nation, and the greater one will be subjugated by the lesser. That is, Esau will be subservient to Jacob. In Isaac's 67th year, this right here, Jericho was built by 7 kings, by the king of the Hittites, the king of the Amorites, the king of the Girgashites, the king of the Jebusites, the king of the Canaanites, the king of the Havites, and the king of the Perizzites. Each one of them surrounded it with a rampart. The city of Jericho itself, however, was at first built by the son of Mizraim, king of the Egyptians. Ishmael fabricated hand mills in the desert, hand mills of slavery. Now, who watched Game of Thrones? Who watched Game of Thrones? So can you tell me how many kingdoms it was? 7. You said the spinoff is back. I think it cut back on the 21st or the 22nd. Thank you, Lord, because I needed something. It was 7. I needed something. I needed something. Thanks, Dad. I needed something. Because I've been looking for some stuff. I ain't found nothing. Okay, good job. I just wanted to see if y'all saw what I saw. All right, here we go now. In his 103rd year, Isaac blessed Jacob, who was 40 years old. And after having received his father's blessing, he went down to the east. Down to the east. He walked for one day in the desert of Beersheba and then slept there, taking a stone for a pillow when he went to sleep. We know this from the regular Bible. In a dream, he saw, behold, a ladder put upon the ground, and at its top in heaven, while the angels of God were ascending and descending. We do know this, right? Upon it, and the Lord standing on top of it. Then Jacob woke up from his sleep and spoke. This truly is the house of God. He took the stone, which he had used as a pillow, and made an altar out of it, anointed it with oil, made a vow, and said, I will put the tithe of everything I have upon this stone. For those who have understanding, it is obvious. The ladder which Jacob saw depicts the cross of our salvation. The angels which were ascending, and descending upon it are the ministers of the gospel toward Zechariah, Mary, the Magi, and the shepherds. The Lord standing at its upper end is to be understood as Christ, who stood at the upper end of the cross in order to descend into Sheol and save us. When God had shown the cross of Christ to bless Jacob by the ladder and by the angels, Christ is sent for our salvation, the church by the house of God, the altar by the stone, the offering by the tithe, the unction by the oil. Jacob again went down to the east so that God might show him baptism there. Jacob watched and saw, behold, 3 flocks of sheep lying at a well. A big stone was put upon its opening, and Jacob drew near and rolled the stone away from its spring, and made the sheep of his maternal uncle drink. Having made the sheep drink, he took hold of Rachel and kissed her. This well is called baptism, which was being awaited by the generations and the tribes. Right? So is it crazy that Jacob didn't only see the angels ascending and descending, it was a vision of what was to come. How many people say, I dreamed my kid before I had him? Or, prime example, I told y'all, on the way to Indiana, I had a vision of a different dashboard in a car. And I was sitting up higher. Didn't understand what it meant. Well, again, different dashboard, and I'm sitting up higher in this car 70, 60 some days later. Hello. You said the number of completion. You said, I'm so upset I don't have the new one. I got to get the money so I can order them. You said, I know God gonna get them for He is. You said, I did, and they told me it was a boy. Oh, that story is also in the complete legend of the Jews, I believe. Okay. Remember I said, I know we read this somewhere, sister. Couple places. You said I did. I dreamed my kids before I had them. Other people kids too. I told you in the beginning. I said we probably didn't read this several other places. Some of this stuff we about to read, but it's some extra pieces in this one that we can put together. Okay. Jesus came out of the lineage of Jacob, didn't he? Right. Okay. So Jacob rolled the stone away from the well in the middle of the desert and fed the sheep. And when he did that, he received his wife, right? By their receiving a blessing, right? That's how he started having the 12 tribes of Israel, right? He met her at the well. When the stone was rolled away from Jesus's tomb, what happened for us? And he's called the living what? Water. Life-giving water. The well is called baptism, and in order for us to experience the same thing, we have to be baptized in order to be able to take part in the living water. But the stone had to be rolled away from the rock place in order for the living water to flow. Hello. It started with Jacob. Well, it started prior to, but do you see what God allowed him to see? We became the bride of Christ. Exactly. They hide these little bitty pieces, but I think they're important. Don't you? Because it started somewhere. Ain't that interesting? This is kind of like when we found out about the alabaster box and everybody knew about it, but we didn't find out about how important it was until we went back and read the birth of the you know, what's the name of Jesus, the infancy of Jesus Christ. Everything is significant going forward in the New Testament. I mean, everything is significant, excuse me, not insignificant, significant. So it doesn't matter about how small in the Old Testament it was. There was something that had to do with it in the New Testament as well. You said, man, the treasures we find ourselves. Listen, how many of us have read about Jacob and the well and him rolling the stone away and the water that was in there and feeding the sheep? And yeah, happened again with Jesus. Is that not interesting to y'all? It almost makes me mad. You said that so much was left out. Does it make sense to you even reading what about what Lucifer did, why God tell us not to pray to statues. How many times they show us in the movies that the statues in the Catholic movies start talking and bleeding and all kinds of stuff, and then that's when the spiritual stuff start. People start losing their minds when they start praying in statues. It start being all the weird stuff. Right, Danny. It's the reason he tell you don't pray to graven images. Well, if people could read that praying to get graven images can make you sacrifice your children, they might not do it. Maybe that's why they didn't put it in the Bible, and that's why we've got people killing their kids because the statue told them to. Definitely, it makes sense now. I look at it all different. Thank you for sharing this. You're welcome. We still got some more to go. We ain't done yet. The movie Unholy. Okay. So I'm gonna skip around from there because I want to get all of this in. It's a lot. Here we go. I'm just gonna read this part to y'all, and y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm gonna tell you about a couple of notes I wrote. Okay. So it says, all the days of Jacob's life were 180 years. He lived until Levi's 31st year and died in Jacob's 120th year of life. 23 years after Jacob went up from Haran during Isaac's lifetime, Joseph was sold to the Midianites, and Jacob grieved about it. When Isaac had died, his sons Jacob and Esau buried him next to Abraham and Sarah. 7 years later, Rebekah died and was buried together with Abraham, Isaac, and Sarah. Rachel died too, and she was buried beside them. After Leah had died, she was likewise buried beside them. Now listen to this. Jacob's son Judah took as a wife the Canaanitess Shua, but it grieved his father that he had taken for himself a wife from the seed of Canaan. Jacob told Judah, may the God of our fathers, Abraham and Isaac, not allow Canaan's seed to mingle with my family. How many times, as a parent or a grandparent, have you prayed over your adult child and said, God, please don't let them get pregnant, or let him get her pregnant, or her get him pregnant? That's not going to be good. Might have been a niece or nephew, whoever, even your friend. You might be like, God, because God allowed you to see something that that person can't see. The spirit behind that person. Hello. I know I did. My youngest daughter ex boyfriend. I used to pray all the time. God, please don't let her get pregnant by him, and she didn't. And then as soon as it wasn't even a few months, and she met this new gentleman, and now my grandson is gonna be here. Immediately got pregnant. You said how many people left this earth thinking all was well with their spirit to realize they were deceived. Too many. Don't marry them. It'll be bad. Uh-oh. You said praying that right now. You said many times with my youngest daughter. Okay. So look here. Did you know that Jacob prayed the same prayer? Okay, good. All right. It says there were born unto Judah from Shua the Canaanites Er, Onan, and Shelah. We know that they were giants. For his firstborn Er, Judah took as a wife Tamar, but he had sodomitical relations with her, and God let him die. Our book don't tell us that. It just said his first son died. It didn't say that he sodomized her and that's why he died. Not that I can remember. Did it tell us that in KJV? I remember dying. I remember. But it said that God didn't let because he sodomized her. That's why he died. Right. They left that little tidbit out. It was more than one brother that died. Remember, she was supposed to marry two. Hold on, because we getting there. He had more than one son. Hold on. For his firstborn, Judah took as a wife. Okay, it said, and God let him die. So Judah gave Tamar to his second son, Onan. But as soon as his seed grew heated, so that he could pour it into Tamar, he corrupted it outside. And God let him die too. Y'all heard that? So we know about the one that let his seed fall to the ground, but they didn't say that the other one died because he sodomized. They did not say that. Not that I can remember reading. I don't ever remember reading it until today. Now, maybe I did, but I don't remember. Look, crazy. It says, thus God did not allow Canaan's seed to be mingled with the seed of Jacob, just as Jacob had prayed. So the seed of evil Canaan, Ham's firstborn, might not be, I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Da-da-da. So that the seed of evil Canaan, Ham's firstborn, might not to the least mingle with the tribes of the patriarch's offspring. God brought Tamar out to the wayside, and Judah slept with her in a depraved desire, and she conceived from him and gave birth to Perez and Zerah. Then Jacob and all his progeny went down to Egypt to Joseph, and they stayed in Egypt for 17 years. Jacob died at the age of 147, Joseph being 56 years old when his father died in Kohath's 12th year. Pharaoh's wise physicians embalmed him, and Joseph brought him back in order to bury him together with Abraham and his father Isaac. Have you ever been with somebody, and if you marry, you don't got to answer this right now, but if your spouse knows that you was with people before them, how many of you have been with a person and you could either not get them pregnant or not get pregnant by them? I'm gonna use my scenario, and with the man that just passed away, we wanted kids together bad. But reading what I just read right here makes sense as to why God never let me get my tubes untied. Listen, and I know for a fact that he comes from the giant side of the line. Someone just told me that this boy's 11-year-old is already 6 feet. And remember, I told y'all his daughter was the same. She was in the fifth grade and she was already 5'11". I told you all of their children, when I was with him, once they hit third or fourth grade, they already over 5'6". Everybody. By the time they fifth grade, they all over the grandma, the mamas, daddies, everybody in that family, except for maybe 4 or 5 people. Before they was in junior high school, they was already over 6 feet. Everybody, the women and the men. The crazy thing is this. When I read that, I was like, OMG. God will let people die before his plan can be interrupted. If that don't tell you that he know who he won't hear specifically, I don't know what will. Y'all don't think that's crazy? Jacob said, I don't want my bloodline to da 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 da. And God said, okay. We don't know what is in the blood, and I'm not talking about disease. We don't know if the person that we are trying to have babies with is in the line of the giants in a negative way. And look, it's been about the blood the whole time. The blood. Lucifer wanted the blood for him to inhabit the boy. It's been about the blood the whole time. The spilling of the blood, the desecrating of the blood, the drinking of the blood, the mixing of the blood, because blood is the life source. And Lucifer hates life. He only wants death and destruction. Y'all, it's been about the bloodline, the whole time. Interesting. The lamb's blood, the blood of the lamb, the blood that was spilled, the blood that was spilled, that cried up to God. Lucifer knew that blood made sound. And because God won't listen to him, you kill people, and so that their blood can cry up to God because God is ignoring you. You have your angels and your brothers that fell go into the women because God won't talk to you. So you think maybe he'll talk to your kids. That's the only way for them to get back in the family because they were disowned sons of God. God considered them not his blood anymore, not belonging to him. So even if I can get you to talk to me through somebody else, you still dealing with me. The infiltration was so that they could try to get back into Jesus, God's family. Now you love something that belonged to me, and God said, I don't. The blood of the Lamb is what makes us family, is it not? You said my heart is beating so hard. Isn't the blood of the Lamb what makes us Jesus's family? No, it's always been about the blood, y'all. It's always been about the blood. You said reeks of desperation. It's always been about trying to get back into God's family. Envious. Remember, it said that the devil is envious and jealous. Envy is being mad because somebody got something you don't, like God's attention. Lamb blood literally cleanses snake venom. Come on. You said, I wish my pastor could preach the truth. He will. Just keep praying. Ain't this mind blowing? especially the part about that man sodomizing that woman, baby, and God let him drop dead. I thought it was bad when he let the baby batter hit the floor. Didn't know. Make a whole listen. Y'all. Maybe that's why he said we couldn't take all of everything if it were spelled out. He said since the beginning, that's what I meant. Discard the gibberish. It's okay. Hey, do that change your? Do you think that if that part was in the Bible, that there would be so much of what's going on right now? If you knew you could drop dead for going in somebody's backside, which technically is not wrong because if you get an infection in a certain area because it's right there next to your bladder and we find out all of that goes back to your heart, it can really happen. And we ain't even talking about no disease. We just talking about like fecal matter and all kinds of stuff, sepsis and whatnot. All right. Here we go. There are authors who say that since Jacob's death, the tribes propagated and mixed with one another, but they do not do so in the light of knowledge. Now, two genealogies are being put forward, one of the tribes and one of the children of Israel, concerning how they went from Egypt. And in those registers, it is recorded how they mingled with one another. Judah begot Perez, Perez begot Hezron, Hezron begot Ram, like Ram truck. Interesting. Ram begot Aminadab. Aminadab begot Nashon. Interesting. Who was the prince in Judah. Aminadab gave his daughter Nashon's sister to Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest. From her was born the high priest Phinehas, who stopped a plague by praying. Behold, I have shown you that through Aminadab and Nashon's sister, priesthood was bestowed upon the children of Israel, and through her brother Nashon, kingship. Look now, both priesthood and kingship were given to the children of Israel through Judah. Nashon begat Salmon. Salmon begot Boaz. Look now, from Boaz and the Moabitess Ruth, kingship went forth. Old Boaz married Ruth so that Abraham's nephew Lot might participate in the transmission of kingship. Thus, God did not refuse to Lot the just of his labors, for he had worn himself out in exile with Abraham and received God's angel in peace. Therefore, Lot, the just, was not cursed for having slept with his daughter. God granted that from the seed of those two might derive the royal bloodline from the seed of Lot, and Abraham Christ would be born. There was born from the Moabitess Ruth Obed, from Obed Jesse, and from Jesse David, and from David Solomon. Those are descended from the Moabitess Ruth, Lot's daughter. From the Ammonitess Naamah, another daughter of Lot, whom Solomon had married, there was born Rehoboam, who became the king after Solomon. Solomon married many women, 700 free ones and 300 concubines. And from the 1,000 women whom he took, he did not have a son except from Naamah the Ammonites. So that the evil seed of the Canaanites, Jebusites, Hittites, Amorites, and those other nations whom God hates, may not be mingled with the birth line of Christ. Excuse me. Now, this is what's crazy. We know that Moabites was giants, Hittites, all of those ice, they was all giants. We know that the children of Israel were giants too, but maybe that blood had more animal blood or something else, or there was a birth defect in those bloodlines as to why God said no, because he didn't want the blood tainted. Because think about this, the Moabites were giants. We know that. Matter of fact, Auntie is the one that told us that it was lion-headed men of Moab. The Lion of Judah. Because Judah married a Moabite, and the Moabites had the lion-headed men, warriors. And this is where the tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel is. He was one of them. Hello. The Lion of Judah. Judah's mama, I'm sorry, Judah's wife was a Moabitess. We know that the Moabites had lion-headed men. Do y'all think that they got anything to do with it? Or no? Ruth was a Moabite. Exactly. Is you feeling me now, Trini? You got what I'm saying? That's crazy. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. Auntie, you don't even know how these classes just keep on confirming things. I'm just saying, because they be hiding the pieces that we need. It's a lot all in here, mixed all up, that they don't tell us. They just be leaving stuff out, but it's very important. They showed us a lion-headed man on the Wizard of Oz, didn't they? Moving on. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna start over here on page, because it's a whole bunch in here that I want to touch on. I'm just not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna read this and then we're gonna go, because it's like 3 more pages and then other stuff that I skipped over in here. It's a lot, but we just gonna go here. Okay, so look. It says Solomon rose and was glorified until the news of his wisdom went forth to all the ends of the created world. The queen of Sheba, or Saba, excuse me, went and came forth in order to meet him. Solomon loved Hiram. Hiram was a giant. Hiram is who all of the Masons worship and their whole deal, the builder dude. The king of Tyre, or Tyre, however you say it, much. Solomon loved Hiram much. We know that Hiram was a giant. Hiram ruled for 500 years in Tyre. Huh. From the days of David's reign until the reign of Zedekiah. Mind you, this is not at a time when people was reigning. People wasn't living 300 years when David was around. King Hiram was alive for at least 500 years or more, because he reigned for 500 years. If you believe that Goliath was alive when David was alive, the men of renown, the giant kings. So even in David's days, there were still beings living to be 500 years old at least. Y'all think some of them beings done had some kids and still alive somewhere right now? He was like Og from the old world. Makes sense as to why in the Bible he always talking about don't mix and mingle with these folks. Okay. It says so that all the kings of the children of Israel erred, for he was a man who blasphemed and said, I am God. I sit upon God's throne within the heart of the sea. And King Nebuchadnezzar killed him. The king of the sea? Was he a mer person? Zeus. Or Poseidon? We know Joe's brother was a mer person and he was a king. What y'all think? You said Tyre is a coastal city, so it tracks. Uh-oh. Tyre. Hello. And what do they say about a lot of the coastal cities that the mer people be coming up on land and then going back into the water? And they old beings and they got a lot of money and they've been here a long time. Interesting. All right. It says, in the days of Hiram, purple made its appearance as a garment for kings. A dog was passing along the seashore and saw a purple murex which had come out of the sea. He bit it, and his muzzle was filled all at once with the blood of the murex. When a shepherd saw this, he took wool and and wiped the dog's muzzle. Out of this wool, he made himself a crown and put it upon his head. When he was walking around in the sunlight, those who saw him thought that flashes of fire were issuing from his head. When King Hiram heard about it, he sent after him and seeing the wool, marveled at it and was amazed. All the dyers gathered and were overwhelmed by it. They went out in order to investigate this thing, gathered some of the murexes, and were exceedingly glad. Solomon waxed very great. The food on his table consisted every day of 40 oxen, 100 sheep, 30 cores of fine flour, 60 cores of meal, and 300 pitchers of wine, regardless of deer, gazelles, or antelopes and game of the field. Then became bold and transgressed the law and did not hearken to his father's commandments. He took for himself 1,000 women from all the nations that God hates. In his old age, he gave his soul to the women who played with it. I'm going to read that again. In his old age, he gave his soul to the women who played with it. He listened to their words and did as they wished, and forsook the God of his fathers David. He built altars to devils, sacrificed to idols and statues, and worshipped the work of human hands. Therefore, God turned away his face from him, and he died. He reigned in Jerusalem for 41 years, and after him, his son Rehoboam ruled. Let me say this to you. Who's ever heard me say that when you messing around with somebody that God didn't tell you to be with, you're literally playing with your soul? They playing with your soul. I want to tell y'all too, a murex is a sea snail, and they real pretty. If you go look at it, that y'all might have already knew that, but I looked it up. It's beautiful colors, and before you know it, you doing stuff you wouldn't have never done. You literally playing with your soul. Solomon gave his heart to people that was playing with his soul. Have you ever? Before you know it, you acting like them. Hello. Is God a liar? No. So if he promised man something, and then angels made it with those said humans, do you think that they thought that they would be a part of the promise again? At least their lineage would have some part, because they know how good God is and amazing he is. Because God's not a liar. So if he said, I'm going to bless you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. How do we know that the fallen angels, because they knew that they would never be blessed by God, hear a kind word, feel any of it, because it's cold over there where they at? No loving kindness, no warmth from him. How do we know, okay, that them mating with the women was them not trying to get some of that back for the children that they created? Well, at least if I can't feel God's goodness, maybe my children will. If God won't talk to me, maybe he'll talk to my child, because they're a part of the human promise. I believe a lot of what we experience from fallen angels is them wanting to be in our space, them wanting to receive the love and kindness because they experienced it before we did. They were made first. They felt the radiating love of God. They have experienced the light of God. They have experienced his wisdom and every single thing that we are seeking to experience. And maybe they didn't want their kids to miss out on it. Think about it. It's stalker mentality. I'm gonna watch you from afar, but I'm gonna try to interact with you as much as I can. But I know you're not gonna talk to me, so I'm gonna do it secretly. And maybe over time you'll forget about what I did, and then we can come back together. They want to be in God's presence. They want God to acknowledge them, and He don't. Maybe it wasn't all about them, like tainting the blood necessarily. Maybe it was them trying to get back into God's good graces one way or another. I'm not saying they're not evil. I'm not saying that. But think about that. They were the sons of God. And God stripped his love from them, his kindness, him talking to them, his light, his everything. You said it's like an ex that tries to keep tabs on you because they lost the good thing they had. Like trying to still be intertwined in your family, calling your brother, calling your sister, calling your mom to check on her. That whole thing. You said like making a fake profile and stalking the person. Come on, dating a cousin because you want to be in the family that bad. Hello. As I was reading through this, I'm like, the blood gives you life. God spoke something about their descendants. He said, didn't appreciate what you had till it was gone. Come on. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think this goes on a deeper level than we could even really even imagine. We just thought God is good, Lucifer is evil, but it's always deeper than that. Any type of beef, it's always just deeper than that. It's always some emotion tied to. You got to think. God used to introduce Lucifer like, look at my baby, look at my son, look at him, he's so gorgeous, y'all. Look, I put all this stuff on him, and then he don't to go from that, where all of heaven is waiting for you to arrive so that you can get the party started, and this, that, and the other, and now everybody then turn their backs and they won't even pay attention to you. If you ever been shunned by a family or a church, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't go from being God's pride and joy, okay, to the bald headed stepdaughter and son and be okay and be all right and not feel no way about it. Hello. You said it's like he thought he could mess up and be forgiven because he was his favorite. Exactly. And God said no. But then he gave us that ability every single day, several times a day, a gazillion times a day. He'll do it for us. And you got to think any grace offered to one of their lineage is grace that the fathers don't get. Do you see what I'm saying? So if God gave grace to some of their children, it it was still something they'll never get. Maybe that's why they used to inhabit their children's bodies, right? So that they could try to get to feel something of God talking to them or touching them or anything. We don't know how deep this goes as to why their envy and jealousy and rage is towards. I mean, think about the parent child dynamic when the mama and the daughter or the mama and the son or whoever it is, the daddy and the whatever is into it. It could get brutal to blood because there's so much emotion behind what's not being said. Does that make sense? Um, you said, and the ones knowing fully well what their fate is coming judgment day, be trying to take as many of God's people out of jealousy, right? Because God promised us something amazing. They've already seen it. We've never seen it. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm starting to see that it really don't have nothing to do with us. It do, but it don't. This is why the last war is going to be fought between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, God and the devil, because that's how it started. That was the first war. And how it started is how it's going to end, with humans somewhere in the middle. Hello. That's why he said, your thoughts are not my thoughts and your ways are not my ways. And if he don't explain heavenly and spiritually things to us, we would never even be able to comprehend it. He said, that's what I was thinking. This is about these rebellious kids of his. You ain't gonna let me in, I'm gonna do this. You ain't gonna let me, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tell everybody you a horrible person. I'm gonna tell everybody what you did. I'm gonna tell everybody you not good. I'm gonna tell everybody you still don't want to talk to me. It don't matter because I'm gonna be outside your house yelling and screaming. So everybody will know how you treated me. And it's that whole vibe all day long. And I really believe in my heart that yes, those demons or the fallen angels lusted after the women, but I feel like that was how they felt like they was gonna try to get back in God's family after he disowned them. Satan tries to use us as collateral damage. Yep. Right? Because if you disown me and then I go marry your cousin, like we break up and you don't want to be with me and then I go marry your cousin, your first cousin, I'm still in the family. This is what is given to me. I can't be a part of the family through you, so I'm gonna go somewhere else. Almost like throwing a tantrum. Exactly. And we keep falling into his tricks. Come on. Yep. I'm about to go make me some food. I love y'all. It's 12 o'clock. So we didn't get to get through all of this because there's some other stuff, but it was so much information and I wanted to touch on different parts because it's crazy how a lot of this right here is in our world right now. A lot of it. The child sacrifice, the blood bathing, the sodomy, the everything. People getting in the family and getting with the family, and maybe all of this is in here. And then even with Jacob and the rolling away of the stone from the well, which was living water out in the desert, and Jesus having the stone, all of it, human trafficking, all of it. Yeah, I just was like, wow. And then even I know y'all was like, why did she read the genealogies? Because we gonna get back to that. It's a part of that I want to go through, but it's we didn't have that much time, and we've been on here 3 hours, and I know y'all got stuff to do, and I do too. So, and again, I'm just getting through the book. I mean, a lot of it, like y'all said, we read it in other books, but I do like that they give us other little pieces that wasn't in the other book. He said, even if they try to be in the family, though, another family, through another family member, you still not getting the same love, right? This is why I'm praying God remove this chick out of my son's life. He just the prayer to Jacob pray. It worked. You said class was so informative and mind blowing today. You're welcome. Listen, and we not done, but I want to go eat. So that's the thing. I'm about to go make me some food, and I might go to sleep. I don't know because I've been up since early, early. But I did want to touch on some of that with y'all because it's just interesting. You said I'm about to get my New Testament apocrypha. Which one should I get first? Did uh, I guess book one. Fucking auntie don't know. You know I'm still going through them. But I think a lot of the books that you got is our. If you need to go through the book list, because I think your 180 book apocrypha got most of them in there, baby. I think your book got most of these stories in them. So I would definitely check, go through one, two, and three, and look at the table of contents, and then mark off what you already got. You said I gotta work and don't get out till 9 p.m. I pray I'm home before you do the next class. I like the interaction, not the rewatches. I know, but at least we had a rewatches. You said I was gonna ask you what time do you get up to read because you be getting through there. It depends. But I told y'all like I'm trying to get back into what I did before I met y'all. I would be up at 3 o'clock in the morning and no joke, I would read from like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning all the way until like 7 or 8, 9 or 10, right? And then I started doing classes with y'all, but it would be 5, 6 hours of study early in the morning. Like that would be the first thing. Get up, get my family off. But I would get up like 2, 3 hours before my kids got up. So I have at least 3 hours before somebody get on my nerves. Yeah. The same. I just had a whole attitude earlier because I didn't have the book. I couldn't find the PDF. It's okay. Listen, so this is called the Cave of Treasures. We read it, but I think it's also like the lineage that's in the Jubilees. Rika said I think it's in the Legends of the Jews. Oh, we got so many books. Thank you, God. It is so much information in these places. Do you hear me? Rika says she thinks she read it in the Legend of the Jews. So check the Legend of the Jews. Check Jubilees. And then what's the other one I said? It might be some of it in Jasher too. We got so many books. I ain't even been able to get back to them, and the world is ending. Mm. I'm missing the story of John about his mother. That's the only one. Okay, so that is in book two or book one. Hold on. I think that's in the book I'm reading right now, but maybe not. You know, I just got these books, so y'all can't hold me accountable because I don't. I ain't had 10 years like I had with the other ones. That's the Life of John the Baptist by what's the name? Serapian or whatever. Serapian, something like that. I don't think it's in this book. I think it's in my other one. Hold on. So many of these books here. That's book two. What is New Testament Apocrypha? That's two. It's book one, page 279. Thank you, Pumpkin. Thank you. Okay, good job. See, in the NTP, right? I'm looking for. You know, I got to go through all these stats, girl. Grateful to y'all for this, but I still gotta get to know them dang books. I love you. Is Charles Worth name on the front of the book we are in today? Um, I believe this is where we was just at. Y'all working me for real. This feel like the old days. I don't know. Hold on. Yes, it is, Rika. It is. Forward by James Charlesworth, Richard Buckman, James Davila, and Alexander Panayatov. She crave pickles. Girl, I like pickles. You're welcome. All right, y'all. I'm about to go. I'm about to go make me some food. I'll see y'all. If I don't, well, I do got a lot of stuff to do. I ain't even about to say that because I gotta get in here and get all these books, put where they go, and find the new spaces for the new OTPs. I might just have to, I don't know. I might have to find something because they getting all ugly on the floor already.